What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Coming at you with yet again another human optimization, self-improvement upload. Call it whatever you wish. But for today, I'm gonna briefly touch on the mindset of success. All right. So I've got my notes here. So let's get started. So the mindset of success encompasses a range of attitudes, beliefs, and habits that contribute to you achieving your own goals and aspirations. And there's a few components that apply here. First of all is having a growth mindset. So, success minded individuals believe in their ability to learn and grow. They see challenges as opportunities for development rather than as obstacles. Embracing a growth mindset means being open to feedback, willing to take risks, and persisting in the face of setbacks. Okay, so just an example here. Let's say you have a job and you got fired from that job. If you have a growth mindset, you're actually going to sit down and create a list of the things that went wrong, the root cause of these things that went wrong, what would have been a better approach to address them to avoid being fired, and basically put a plan to prevent this scenario from happening again in the future, but also learning lessons that will help better inform your decision making in the future. So right there, you've actually learned from a negative experience, and you didn't see it as something that would stop you in your tracks or as a failure, but as a learning and growth opportunity. All right, so the next point is goal orientation. Successful people set clear, achievable goals and work diligently towards them. They understand the importance of having a roadmap to guide their efforts and stay focused on what they want to accomplish. So this is kind of the first of a two-pronged approach to achieving your goals. One is actually setting the goal and keeping your eye on that goal, and two, which is not covered here, is basically dedicating yourself to the process. But the idea is that you are focused. Okay, you have a goal and you're focused on achieving it. You have an image of it in the eye of your mind, and you never let go of it because that is your guiding beacon. All right, the third component is resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks and failures. Successful individuals understand that failure is a natural part of the journey and use it as a learning experience rather than letting it deter them from their goals. So again, basically having grit, having thick skin, being tough, recognizing that, hey, if you made a mistake or failed, it's not the end of the world. You pick yourself up, you brush yourself off, and you look at what you did wrong, put a plan to avoid that in the future, and keep moving. So the name of the game is just standing up. Every time you get knocked down, you stand up and you move forward. Get knocked down again, stand up and move forward. As long as you are moving forward, you have nothing to worry about. Okay? Next, positive attitude. So, maintaining a positive attitude can significantly impact one's ability to succeed. Optimism fosters creativity, problem-solving skills, and resilience in the face of challenges. Positive individuals are also more likely to attract support and opportunities from others. All right? So, basically, don't be your own self's worst enemy. All right? Do not create problems for yourself. Do not just, put yourself down in the dumps. Okay, life is going to do that to you in plenty. Instead, just be optimistic. All right, look at what's going right and sit down and think about how great the future will be. All right, it's kind of like a lot of people that go through hardships, be it, let's say, war, survival situations, financial catastrophes. The difference between those that make it and those that don't are those that had hope, those that believed that tomorrow's going to be better, those that believed that their situation is temporary and not permanent, those that said, and this also shall pass. All right. So keeping this positivity, optimism, just looking forward to what's next, and not assuming that because you had a streak or a trend of negative situations that negativity is going to continue, but rather looking at it that, I've had a bad streak, I had a bad trend, but you know what? There's a high probability now that my upcoming streak and trend is going to be positive. So just keeping this positive outlook. You literally have nothing to lose, right? If you're going to adopt a thought, might as well adopt a thought that's positive and in support of your own self. Okay? Next is adaptability. So, in today's rapidly changing world, adaptability is crucial for success. Being able to pivot, innovate, and embrace change allows individuals to stay relevant and thrive in dynamic environments. So listen, you've been constantly told to pick a niche, become specialized in it, and dedicate yourself to it. That advice worked great in the past when things change slowly, okay? But when your livelihood and survival depends on your environment and most importantly on your skill set, you can't afford to just be a specialist. In this day and age, it pays more to be a generalist. And it pays more as a generalist in particular if you are an entrepreneur or your own business owner. But even then, the common advice of being a specialist for a job is wearing out quickly because of the constant developments in technology, tools, methodologies. There's always somebody disrupting an industry. So whether you like it or not, your specialization is going to be outdated very, very quickly. So you need to have this generalist, adaptable mindset where you're capable of learning new skills, where you're capable of learning new pieces of information, so you can actually adapt to your environment and circumstances and continue to thrive and not just survive. All right, self-discipline. Success often requires consistent effort and discipline. Successful individuals have the self-control to prioritize tasks, manage their time effectively, and stay focused on their long-term goals, even when faced with distractions or temptations. This is probably so far the hardest point on this list, just because we live in the day and age of the attention economy. Everybody's vying for your attention. You're constantly distracted. You're constantly unfocused. So it's becoming harder and harder to have this self-discipline, especially when your dopamine circuit is being hijacked left and right, okay? You're basically constantly looking for this dopamine high, this arousal that comes from novelty. And that makes it very hard to be self-disciplined and on point. So this is one of those points on that list that I really recommend paying attention to, being intentional and being conscious of, because this never really used to be an issue for a few of the generations in the past compared to today. But today, you really do have to put work into this if you really want to cultivate a success mindset. All right. Next, we have persistence. So persistence is key to overcoming obstacles and achieving success. Successful individuals are willing to put in the hard work and keep pushing forward, even when progress is slow or challenges seem insurmountable. So the idea here is that no matter how slow the pace is, no matter how slow the results are, no matter how many bottlenecks or challenges you run into, you stay on your path and you persist. Don't worry about when you will get there, okay? Especially if you don't get there on your own timeline, just worry about getting there. And you're only gonna get there by persisting, okay? You might reach the end of a day one day and think you've had enough and you're done. But what you don't know or could have known is that tomorrow was the day you achieve your goal. Had you persisted, had you not quit, all it took was another 24 hours. All right? So just make sure to stay on the path, stay on track, and don't worry too much about how fast or how slow you're getting results. It's going to happen sooner rather than later. Okay? Just believe and persist. All right. Gratitude. Cultivating a sense of gratitude can enhance overall well-being and success. Recognizing and appreciating the support, opportunities, and resources available can foster a positive mindset and motivation to pay it forward. Now, again, for me personally, this one is rather hard and challenging one. Just being content, happy, and grateful for what you already have is a very, very big thing and a massive thing to have on your journey to success. You have to learn to enjoy the moment. You have to learn to enjoy what you already have, and you have to celebrate what you've already accomplished and not just obsess over the future and other things in terms of being achievable down the road. And this, again, to a certain extent it is a mindset, but there is also a hormonal aspect to it. So again, if you don't have gratitude and you're always in anticipation of what comes to next, you're very dopamine driven. Okay, so basically your brain is pumping a ton of dopamine and it's making you forget about the moment and making you forget about being grateful for what you have and enjoying what you have, and you're just obsessed with more and more in the future. Meanwhile, if you are heavier on the serotonin, oxytocin side of things, you actually tend to be more in the moment. You will naturally have more gratitude and you're gonna appreciate what you have now and enjoy it. So I guess what I'm trying to say here is that be conscious of it, be intentional about it, recognize that there is an aspect of this that may be out of your control because it is hormonal, but you can shape to a certain extent and affect that balance by acting on your gratitude. Okay, so food for thought there, and I might actually do an upload on how dopamine and serotonin affect your ability to anticipate and to be grateful. So basically living in the moment versus anticipating the future, but we'll see about that. All right, next, continuous learning. Successful individuals are lifelong learners who actively seek out new knowledge and skills to improve themselves. They understand that staying stagnant is not an option in today's fast-paced world and prioritize personal and professional growth. So again, you gotta have this curiosity to you. You wanna constantly learn. You want to be open to new information and data. You want to challenge your preconceived notions of how you thought things work and how things are, and be willing to let go of what is not working or outdated and adopting what is more effective, efficient, and being result oriented. And again, as long as you live, you're always going to be a student. If you don't adopt that willingly, life will force it upon you. Life will force you to learn. And if you don't learn, it will be punishing. So might as well be proactive about it and take it upon yourself to learn and continuously improve yourself. Right. Next is responsible risk taking. All right. So success often involves taking calculated risks. Successful individuals are willing to step outside of their comfort zones, take chances, and seize opportunities. But they also weigh the potential rewards against the potential consequences and make informed decisions. All right. So I'm sure you guys have heard it a lot as of recent, is that the only risk that you have to deal with in life is not taking a risk at all and just playing it safe. And in this day and age, unfortunately, with the rising cost of living, the stagnating wages, the constant economic slowdowns, you really cannot afford to play it safe anymore. You know, for our great grandparents' generation, safety meant wealth, well being, and flourishing. Okay? That is not the case anymore, unfortunately. All right? You have constant disruption from a technological or disciplinary standpoint, and it's just not a good thing to be a sitting duck anymore. You got to take the risk, and just make sure that it is a measured risk. We're not saying here go out and bet $10,000 on black on roulette. What we're saying is sit down, contemplate the risk you want to take, figure out what the payout is and what the loss is, and make a measured decision if it's worth it or not. If the risk works out, it pays big time and you did good. If it doesn't work out, you do lose some, but hey, it is not a life damning loss. All right. So risk taking is mandatory. Anybody that has achieved anything has taken risks. All right. All right, you guys. So that is it for the success mindset upload. Hopefully it's been helpful for some of you. And with that said, I'm going to wrap it up here as per usual. Very much appreciate your time and attention, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.